Hello, and welcome to the Daily Oracle card reading for June 3rd, 2014. And I've been using the Gillian Kemp Tree Magic, so I'll keep going with that as a middle card. And then I have the two card decks that I have information on down below. Okay, so we have Kali. This is kind of deep-rooted healing and the changing of time and space. And then we have a little spirit angel, which is about being sprung into action, knowing the right decision at the right time. And oh, I always love that card. That's you and Da Vinci, and they were like the ultimate love couple. They did everything together. So this is about lasting, really tight but bound love, where you have the ultimate freedom in your relationship, and you just love to be with the other person every minute, and just a very monogamous relationship where you're just both so focused on each other. And Lilo, which is passion of the heart, passion in the world, passion of the self, in all the dreams one can have. So this is just like the passionate life and the passionate drives that are very pure and good. And then for our middle card, we have growth, the sweet chestnut tree. And it says, with maternal nurturing, plans and wishes meet with fruitation that is as sweet as the nut. Because I don't know much about chestnuts. I guess they're sweet. I don't know. I always think of Christmas when I think of chestnuts. But so maternal nurturing and plans and wishes meet with fruitation that is sweet as a nut. So it's not just growth, but it seems more like unfolding and just kind of a positive movement in life and flowering, where it just something becomes what you've been waiting for it to become, like a seed sprouting into the plant, So it was always meant to be. It's just unfolding now and flowering. So, okay, so looking at this as a whole. So Kali, the Ace of Spades, this is the Ace of Mind. And she's kind of a tricky concept, just because she really has to do with time. She has to do with ending time, which is kind of a abstract understanding. But what it is it's really about making your time now what you want from your past and want from your future. So you can create your time now with pieces of any time from your life in the past or in the future. So this is about understanding that things are not linear or cyclical. Linear and cyclical are kind of the same, because when you're doing a cycle, it seems like a line, and then you just come back around. But both of these are the trap. This is the trap of doing the same thing over again, and maybe it changes a little bit, but it's about feeling like that things have a progression, a step-by-step progression, when really anything can be at any time. So she also she ushers in the age of eternity and immortality. So this is like the end of time. So she's a very powerful abstract concept. Kali from the Hindu religion or tradition. I don't know. I mean, it's so varied, but I guess it is considered a religion. But anyway, this also has to do with not with psychopathology. It has to do with mental illness, and there's a big difference. People who are wanting to dominate and control and just mess with everybody and do whatever they want, they're not handicapped mentally at all. They might not have a heart, but they're not connecting to their heart, but they're mentally just messing around with people, and they're mentally really free to play tricks and be the con artist. Whereas somebody who is mentally ill, these are the people who have to go into institutions, and these are the people who are really struggling, and they're often very good people. And I don't even want to say that they are always ill. Sometimes they're just they're unwinding from. It's funny. Sometimes people appear mentally ill when they're coming out of a life of being oppressed or suppressed, because all of a sudden they're working through it, and when a person works through it, it seems a little bit crazy. It seems like all of a sudden the things that they're going through, they're talking about, and people don't know how to handle that. But they're actually gaining their mental health when they start to work through it often. And and then there's a lot of people who just have abilities, and they have kind of different psychic ability, or different visions, or they can hear things, hear voices. I mean, there's so many things that are considered mental illness, and they're not actually mental illness at all. It's about the mind, the ego, and what is going on with that person and their processing unit, what the software they're loading onto their hardware. It's like what's being programmed into their mind, and then it works through their system. So what could be a very beautiful thing in one culture can end up being like a very scary thing in another culture. Or a very beautiful thing in one person's life can be a very scary thing in another person's life, because of their surroundings and their environment. Environment is everything. Major. The people, when people are around each other, they're 100% influencing each other, and often people don't realize that they're a totally different person if they just move to a different group of people. And me myself, I'm pretty much, I like to stay alone, and if I spend too much time with someone who is encroaching into my area, I need to separate, because I start to lose myself, and I don't feel like me, which is not a flaw. It's a natural phenomena. And so we really need to be around purity and be around what we want to be influencing us, because all of our systems are going to take that in, and then our experience is going to be really a product of our surroundings. So, the thing about what people actually consider mental illness, it's not mental illness. It's just mental abilities that that the surroundings are really working negatively through. So, it's about honoring and recognizing your natural skills and talents, and making sure that you clear your space, or that the space is clear and safe for that person. Because sensitive people, everybody who ends up going down, it's because they're very sensitive. So those sensitive people really can't be around a person trying to control them. If a person tries to control another person, then the person being controlled is going to be really just like a product of that person who is using the other person. So this is a very in-depth thing. I probably should make 10 cards on this one card. But really, it's about finding yourself in the mix of things, and honoring yourself and your sensitivity, and finding where your boundaries are being intruded, and then all of a sudden reclaiming yourself, reclaiming your boundaries. And your space is also your time. So your time and space are the same thing. You go to one city, say you go to San Francisco, and then you leave and you come back a year later. That's a different city. It's the same space, but it's a different time. So now you're in a different time space. So time and space are tied together, where it's not the location. It's more of a presence, of a they are tied together. I mean, Einstein has proven this. It's more of a I don't even know how to, it's like a vortex of a sort, where this space and time can only it exists at one moment, but then you have the power to create. You can change it and keep changing it until you really fill it with yourself, and you yourself can make something last forever with your own space and your own time, and that's mind. Time is a function of mind. That's also a proven thing. The whole concept of time is a brain function. So it's like to be able to be flexible and movable in your mind makes you very healthy. And then you can bring things from any time and put it in your space. And so it's about being in charge of your personal space, really. And when everybody can claim their personal space, and when these people who want to get into your personal space and control you get out, and they no longer can enter into other people's space, and they can't enter into people's minds anymore, where they're like, the way they enter into their minds is a very it should be a harmonious welcoming, where you want them in your time, in your space. But if you don't want them in your time, in your space, then they shouldn't even be there. They shouldn't exist in your time and your space. So this is about claiming your life, really. Claiming your health, claiming your time, claiming your mind. And then little spirit next to that is really about you know what to do when things present themselves, and you might not know how to make your next move, but when you're really devoted to making a right decision, at some point you'll have that certainty and you'll know what to do. And then on the other side we have love of other people. It's just people that we are really devoted to. I mean, I would say this is just really intimate life. Of course, you always think of a partner, a life partner, the pair. But there's certain people in my life that are very, very close to me, and just friends and family, and it's people who just will be there always, no matter what, for you, and you're very you can never get enough of them. You just totally love and adore each other, and you make each other more, you add to each other's lives. And then Lilo is really about being able to express your passion and go after your dreams and live out your heart. And of course, in the middle again, we have the growth. So I think the key thing here, I mean, this is kind of like the growth. I mean, this is what will grow. Will help you grow. This is something also kind of happening. This is also something happening. This is like you might be focused to find your way, but this will also happen for you. This is the one that we really need to focus on for the reading here, where we need to create. We have to figure out what we want to devote our mind to, what we want to devote our time to. Time and mind are the same. So what do we want to devote our time and our mind to? What is worthy of our time? What is worthy of our mind? What do we want in our space? How do we create our life? How do we create our existence and then make it lasting, make it worth it, make it something that we want? And then, of course, the growth again, which is maternal nurturing, and she's actually a mother figure. So she's about protection. She's really, but she's also, the ultimate mother. She is in many ways. I mean, you guys could look up Kali. There's so much about her that's very interesting. But she is the ultimate mother, and she's like the mother bear, but she makes it happen. And it says maternal nurturing, and she is a nurturer, but plans and wishes meet with fruition. And it's as sweet as a nut. I don't know what the nut. Well, I guess it's because it's a chestnut, but sweet as a nut. Well, sweet as a funny thing. I always think of a nut as something funny, but sweet as a seed. It could also be a seed. So I don't know. Sweet as a nut. Chestnut. Christmas. So anyway, this is all about growth and unfoldment. So I hope that you got what you needed out of this. Sorry, it's a long reading, but I will see you again tomorrow, and thank you very much.